Attorney Larry Madison, will you do the roll call
Yes,
for
I
us,
will.
please?
Y'all bear with me because I have to think, write, and talk at the same time tonight. Rita's good at it, but I'm not. All right, Council President Gill, Councilmember Baker. Here. Councilmember Yeager.
Here.
Councilmember Alexander.
Here.
Councilmember Swafford.
Here.
Mayor Evans.
Here.
And me. All right, we have a quorum.
All right, and approval of the minutes of the work session. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
And a second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Approval of the minutes of the regular meeting held on March the 10th. Do I hear a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Unfinished business, there is none. New business. Ordinance 1643, revising the zoning ordinance concerning the non-conforming mobile homes. Mr. Jeremy is going to introduce this for us.
Go ahead and give you those maps, because I think you've got need for several items. This one was discussed a month or so ago, earlier meeting. This is an amendment to the zoning ordinance that would make changes to the non-conforming regulations regarding mobile homes. Currently, as it stands, if you have a non-conforming grandfathered mobile home, you can replace it within a year after it's removed. This would change that to where you could not replace a non-conforming grandfathered mobile home. If it's removed or if it's destroyed, it would not be allowed to return. So as you recall, this was held off for a second public hearing, which has been scheduled for the 14th of April. So this is introduction at this time prior to that hearing. And this was recommended by Planning Commission 6-0 with 1 abstention.
Okay. You've heard Jeremy's comments. Do I hear a motion to introduce only?
Motion.
Is there, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. All right. Ordinance 1648, Jeremy is going to do rezoning 2 acres on Foot Road.
Yes, this one is for introduction as well. It's the first map that you have before you there. This is 2 acres on Foot Road. It's currently part of a larger acreage tract that's zoned Ag 1. They would like to divide that off to have 2 house lots of 1 acre each, and when they do so, that'll drop it below the 5 acre minimum for ag, so they are required to rezone to R1. That is in conformance with the comp plan, and Planning Commission recommended this one as well, 5-0 with 1 abstention.
All right, you've heard Jeremy's explanation for introduction only. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Jeremy. Ordinance 1649, annexation of 58 acres on Eastford Road. Jeremy is going to introduce that one.
Yes, this is also in conformance with the comp plan. This one and the next one will be for Planning Commission at their April 7th meeting, so they'll have a formal recommendation for you prior to the April 14th hearing. This is the remaining property for Kane Park subdivision, approximately 56 acres. This is an area that is shown for annexation in our current comprehensive plan, and also this is the area that is that the temporary road agreement that we have with Davidson Homes traverses to go out to Eastburg Road. So this would be for introduction only at this time.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ordinance 1650, zoning of the Eastburg Road property as R5. And Jeremy's going to introduce this.
Yes, this is the companion ordinance to the annexation. This would establish that zoning as R5 patio home for phases 4 and beyond in Kane Park. Introduction only as well.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ordinance 1651, authorized sale of property to Safe Safety Shelters. Jeremy, please.
Yes, this is a request from Safety Shelter. It's one of the manufacturers in the current Hartselle Morgan County Industrial Park, requesting that the city convey to them approximately 1.4 acres behind their property to allow for additional lay-down yard parking area for their equipment and products. I'll let Larry speak a little bit to the specifics of the ordinance that he's drafted here, but basically it would authorize the mayor to enter into the purchase agreement for that, which does provide for a credit to the city for future storm shelter, should we decide to utilize that, of $50,000. And it also would allow a covenant to be attached to the deed. So there would be no structures built on this property as long as the air curtain burner is on that adjacent property in order to protect that 500-foot radius that we're not supposed to have buildings built within. So, if you have anything else to add, Larry?
Sure. The actual owners of the property is Mitchell Investment Properties LLC, and they are the owners of Aquamarine Industries, or Enterprises rather, which in turn owns Safety Shelters. So the contract is actually with Mitchell Investment Properties LLC. What this ordinance does is required by law, declares this property is not needed for any municipal or public purpose at this time. And it's not because it is held specifically to be sold for industrial development. This is part of our industrial park. The land was purchased for that purpose, so obviously it has no use other than selling to an industry. So, and the law does require you to recite that, and this ordinance does. Also gives the mayor some flexibility to negotiate, some miscellaneous terms like closing costs or title issues or whatever it may be as they come along, instead of having to come back to council every time. Just work out the details, in other words. But as Jeremy indicated, the purchase price is essentially $50,000, but it's a credit. In the event at some point in the future, there's no time limit on this. If the city determines that it would be appropriate to acquire a storm shelter from them, then we can purchase whichever size we want, and we get a $50,000 credit towards the cost of the item and installation. So that's it in a nutshell.
Okay, we have the opportunity to suspend the rules and go ahead and vote on this tonight. So on ordinance 1651, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend.
Second?
Second.
Thank you.
That requires a roll call vote.
Okay.
All right.
Any discussion on the, okay, let's do a roll call vote. Mr. Larry?
All right. Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Yeager,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
and Swafford.
Yes.
All right, passes, so you can now vote to adopt or not adopt the ordinance.
All right, do I hear a motion to adopt the ordinance?
A motion to
16.
adopt.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, the motion, the ordinance is passed. Resolutions 20-0324. This is establishing policies and procedures for appointments to advisory boards. And Jeremy's going to take that one.
So as we've discussed previously, this would basically just establish rules for appointment to city-created boards, as well as procedures and policies for service on those boards, establishes who can serve, minimum standards for serving. If they don't show up to meetings, in other words, you could remove them, that sort of thing. This does not apply to state code created boards, a planning commission, board of zoning adjustment, but it does apply to all of the boards that are created locally at the city level.
Okay, do I hear a motion to adopt resolution 26-0324?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And there is none. Thank you, Jeremy. Resolution 26-0324A is amending the resolution 26-0310A, and it's to provide violations of parking and towing. And Daryl and Larry are going to share this comments.
I'll start and let Daryl finish it. The last time you adopted a resolution that established fire lane at the soccer fields out at Sparkman Park along
Grover.
Grover Road, and you asked us to amend that to add a towing provision that if violators can be towed, and that's what this resolution does. It very simply amends that past one to allow towing. So Darrell will tell you the reasons he wants it.
Yes, so for emergency traffic along the drive that connects two new parking lots for emergency vehicles, so let the violation be up to towing.
Okay, you've heard Darrell and Larry's comments. Do I hear a motion to adopt resolution 26-0324A?
Motion.
Is there a second? All right, sounds great. Any more discussion?
The main purpose behind this is because emergency vehicles can't get through there.
At times.
Should there be an issue on the soccer fields or from one end to the other, just because of the way it stacks up.
Right.
Correct? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a narrow
And what
passage
if-
between the diagonal park cars and somebody's on the curb.
I just wanted to make sure the folks at home heard it.
Yeah.
It's a big squeeze.
And there will be signage along with a number for them to call in the event their vehicle is towed to find out where it is. And this is part of it, was making sure that there was signage as well.
Yes.
Okay. Any more discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion passed. Thank you. Budget adjustment, travel expenses for SFC, and this is the Park and Recreation, and I believe our mayor is going to present that.
Yes, so we received an invoice. The contract that we signed for the optimization report included a on-site visit, and part of the agreement in that contract was that we would pay for the travel expenses of the people that came to on-site and did their evaluation. And so this is obviously not in our general budget, so this is additional fees that are part of the contract that we signed.
Do I, thank you so much, Mayor. Do I hear a motion to amend the budget to cover this?
Motion.
In a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. And request to declare the item surplus from the library, Mayor.
So this is a request from our librarian, Michelle Blaylock. She has 539 items, variety of things, nonfiction books, picture books, DVDs, young adult books, that kind of thing, that they have not been checked out within the past 5 years. They're either damaged, outdated, and don't really provide any relevant information. So she's asking for us to declare these surplus so they can be removed from the library.
All right, you've heard the explanation from our mayor concerning the library books and items. Is there a motion to declare items surplus?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? I would encourage, they will take these books and put them in a room that you can go into, purchase those if you so desire. Now's a good time to get them for a little bit of nothing. All right, sounds good. Does anyone else have any new business for the council? Okay, Mayor.
Some comments. Okay. Just a lot of good things going on. First of all, I just want to thank Lauren Hibbs, who's a new member of our Park and Rec Board, for the investment that she's made, along with some other volunteers, in planning a spring season opening day event for families and players, and that's going to be this weekend out at Sparkman Park. If you need more information about that, you can contact the Civic Center for that, or I believe some of that information is even on their Facebook page. And in response to a request at our last council meeting, Michelle Allman, who's the senior leader of programs at Park and Rec, is establishing a committee to investigate and plan for summer day camp programming at the park. We need people to fill out an application if you have an interest in being considered for this committee, and turn that into City Hall by the 31st. The aquatics team is working hard to kick off summer swimming. They're hiring lifeguards, concession workers, and other seasonal workers. So if you have an interest in part-time employment over the summer, please turn in your applications at City Hall. Pool passes are on sale right now, and the pool will open on May the 23rd. The library and event venue design team is going to be holding a community feedback session on May the the 5th at 7 p.m. at City Hall. So if you would like to be a part of providing feedback on the plans that are coming together, they will present a schematic of what they have already sort of drawn. It's a very, very rough outline, and at that time, we'll be looking for some community feedback. Public Works has a new garbage truck. Woohoo! Wave to it and admire it as it passes by and does its great work. Just a reminder that the Patriotic Committee, headed up by Lee Green, is planning a big 250th celebration on July the 4th from 9 to 2 at the park. And the front gym at Sparkman Civic Center is getting its floor refinished this week, so please be following that if that impacts you. And the Hartselle City Farmers Market is going to be kicking off their growing and selling season on April 25th. Just kudos to that committee of volunteers that are coming around and providing leadership for that. And just finally, the first edition newsletter is scheduled to go out at the end of this month. The department heads have been providing some good content for that, and if you're interested in following that newsletter, you'll need to subscribe to receive future updates. So if you get it once, you won't receive it again unless you subscribe. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Councilman Austin, do you have anything?
Nothing. I also want to say every week, thank y'all for everybody in attendance for showing up and all those online, and obviously to our mayor and council and to our amazing media teams out here doing their amazing job. So thank you to the community.
Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Austin. Councilwoman Sherry?
There's some great activities around Hartselle, so make sure you're checking out the different events happening. We've got Park and Rec opening on the 28th, the T-ball, and the older kids. So I'm excited about that because my grandbaby don't go to the team. So.
Hey,
Thank y'all for coming.
Councilman?
I too want to thank the Park and Recs committee for their work on the opening day thing, and sadly I was offered the opportunity to be an announcer for it, but we're going to be out of town. So but I do think making that opening day, it's a special day. You know, I remember growing up, you were at the park all the time, and that's kind of where it starts, and you get to know people from all over. So I'm glad they're investing in that.
All right, and likewise, I'd like to say thank you for everybody coming out, and also the Park and Rec is moving and shaking, so y'all participate in it. City Attorney?
Don't have anything tonight.
Okay. Any comments from the audience? Okay, anyone from the audience have any comment? All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Sounds